Dragon is in terminal count. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. Stage 2 LOX load is complete. Dragon is in auto idle. Ground gas closeout is starting. Dragon is in countdown. FDS is armed. Falcon 9 is in startup and is now controlling.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds, all for one, crew one for all. T-minus 15 seconds.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
M1E propulsion is nominal.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Stage 1, throttle down.
Falcon 9 is supersonic. Max Q.
Stage 1, throttle up. MVAC engine chill started. Stage 1, throttle down. And we have MECO.
Stage separation confirmed. Ops, acquisition of signal.
MVAC ignition.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal. Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal. Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
Stage 1 FTS is saved. Stage 2 FTS has saved.
Stage 2 and terminal guidance.
MVAC shut down.
Dragon SpaceX, nominal orb insertion.
Launch escape system is disarmed.
Expected loss of signal, Cape Canaveral.
Acquisition of signal, Newfoundland. Dragon separation confirmed.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Countdown 1 is unmerged.
Acquisition of signal, go on heli.
Discovery clears the tower.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery, roger, go for deploy.
Thanks, Karen, and to everybody in the shuttle program. The crew is go for launch.
Roger, nice to be in orbit.
We have followed in their footsteps to get us where we are today.
It has been an incredible day with the launch of Crew 1 from Kennedy Space Center, NASA's first official long-duration mission for our commercial crew program.
So exciting. What an amazing day. We watched the crew as they suited up. We watched them ingress on Crew Dragon. We had an on-time liftoff at 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time. Stage 1 came back and landed back on Just Read the Instructions. We got confirmation of Dragon separation as well as nose cone deploy.
Yes, nose cone deploy came back clear, and we also had some good forward Draco checkouts. So all good news there as the crew continues on the way to the International Space Station. And as we said, the mission has only just begun. Right now, NASA astronauts Mike Hopkins, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Soichi Noguchi are flying free inside Dragon after that successful separation from Falcon 9. And now we've got about 27 hours until they arrive at the space station, and we'll be here with you for the entire trip.
Immediately after the Dragon spacecraft separated from Falcon 9, it began what we call the activation and rendezvous phase of the mission. During this phase, Dragon is configured for on-orbit operations. The phase begins after separation of Dragon from Falcon 9 and ends with the completion of the final co-elliptic burn. Our initial orbit today is 210 kilometers by 190 kilometers, with those values representing the perigee and the apogee of the orbit, or the lowest and the highest point over the Earth. That means that the orbit isn't a perfect circle, but more like a very slight ellipse.
Dragon SpaceX, next burn is per your displays, and have some more words on TCS.
Okay, and SpaceX Dragon is ready to copy.
Okay, it looks like during activation, Loop Alpha had a pressure spike, which caused Fitter to trip and fill over to Loop Bravo. However, we do believe that Loop Alpha is healthy, and we're troubleshooting to understand what our plan to recovery is. However, we are go for the burn in the current TCS configuration.
Okay, SpaceX Dragon copies. We had a pressure spike on Alpha, Fitter swap to Bravo, and you do think Alpha is heavy, or is healthy, and you'll get us more words later on how we'll get it back, and we are go for the burn coming up in approximately 19 minutes.
Yeah, good copy on TCS. Regarding the go for the burn, we're still assessing our overall go for the vehicle. However, TCS is in an acceptable configuration.
Okay, yeah, Dragon copies.
And we are also still assessing cabin environment, and I expect to give you some more words on that shortly for suit offing.
Dragon copies.
So those were words from the core, the crew operations and resources engineer here in Hawthorne, to our crew aboard Crew Dragon. They did have an issue with the TCS, or the thermal control system. And you heard another acronym in there, the FITTER. That's the fault detection and isolation. It's an automated system to respond to any issues that arise. There was a pressure pump spike on a pump in the thermal control system, and Dragon auto switched to Bravo. We do have 2 fault tolerance on Crew Dragon. And the flight controllers still believe that the pump that had a pressure spike is functional. But the key thing is that we are still continue to go with the nominal burn plan. So over the next 27 hours, Dragon will execute a series of burns, which will gradually raise its orbit to align more closely with the station. There are 5 major burns, or firing, of the Draco thrusters on Dragon that will bring the spacecraft close to station before we begin final approach maneuvers. The first, which you may have heard them discuss, is the phase burn. This is performed at the first apogee, or the highest point of the initial orbit, and it raises Dragon's perigee, or its lowest point, to a higher altitude.
The next burn, which is based on what our orbital data shows us, is the boost burn, which raises Dragon's orbit until its orbit reaches an altitude of just 10 kilometers lower than the space station. Followed soon after by the close co-elliptic burn to place Dragon on an orbit roughly co-elliptic with the space station. This means that the crew will be about 10 kilometers lower than the station during their entire orbit around the Earth. The fourth maneuver is the transfer burn, where we're raising Dragon's apogee, or the highest point of its orbit, to just 2.5 kilometers below station. And then we round everything out with a final co-elliptic burn to once again maintain a constant orbit beneath station, this time just 2.5 kilometers below.
And then we'll get into the approach initiation and final stages of Dragon's rendezvous with the space station. This is also when we start integrated operations between the Dragon control team here in Hawthorne and the space station flight controllers in Mission Control Houston. The teams will transition to integrated operations roughly 45 minutes prior to approach initiation. During the approach, SpaceX flight controllers will work in tandem with the NASA team in Houston to activate and test out a number of systems on Dragon, including bidirectional communications with the station using the C2V2 system, which stands for Common Communications for Visiting Vehicles, and sets up a data stream from Dragon to the station, giving another path for Dragon telemetry to come to the ground and giving an additional command capability to astronauts aboard the station. They'll also maneuver Dragon to the proper altitude and initialize the navigation sensors used for the methodical approach to station.
Tomorrow at approximately 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, Draco thrusters on Dragon will fire for the approach initiation burn when Dragon is about 2.5 kilometers below station and just about 7 kilometers behind it. This will swing Dragon up until it's about 400 meters directly below the station. This maneuver will also move Dragon inside one of the 2 safety zones around the station that requires a set of go-no-go polls with the different control teams. The first zone is called the approach ellipsoid, which is an imaginary shape measuring 4 by 2 by 2 kilometers, essentially a large 3-dimensional oval. Before Dragon is given permission to move inside of this ellipsoid, referred to by the teams as the AE, it is configured to be on what is known as a 24-hour safe trajectory. This means that if Dragon lost all control to its thrusters, it would be at least 24 hours before its orbital path would take it inside of the approach ellipsoid.
And once Dragon arrives at 400 meters below station, it will be at waypoint 0, the first checkpoint during our approach. The vehicle can hold at 400 meters or continue on if all systems check out to approach to waypoint 1. By this point, the teams will do a go, no-go for Dragon to move inside the keep-out sphere, another zone that consists of an imaginary sphere around station with a radius of 200 meters. It gives us another chance to confirm all of the guidance, navigation, and control systems are working correctly on Dragon before moving closer to station. And it carries a requirement similar to the AE that if Dragon's orbital trajectory would not bring it inside that...
SpaceX for suit offing.
And go ahead for suit offing.
Okay, at this time, cabin environments are looking good. So we can give you go for 4.012 and 4.300 for suit offing, and we are reconfiguring cameras now.
Okay, Dragon copies. We are go for 4.012, 4.300, and you're reconfiguring cameras. And then I want to confirm one more time on the thermal loop caution or warning. We are good that you do expect to clear both of those. Clear that caution.
That's affirmative, yeah. We're currently working on just cleaning up fitter. The response that occurred was both Loop Alpha and Bravo. They both saw the spike which resulted both of them in tripping fitter, and then we failed over to basically a min.
Okay, which copy? You're cleaning up fitter right now, and so MS1 and pilot will be getting out of their seats and starting the suit docking.
All right, a lot there from Crew Dragon and the core.
And Dragon SpaceX, I copied your last call. We were in a teacher's handover. Have some more words on procedure deltas.